We are back to do the Cancer check-in. I'm sorry that it has been delayed. It's been a little bit like last month, really, hasn't it, been? Bit of ash there. Okay, I have started pulling the cards. For those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. Background in astrology to a degree. It's upgrading as I go. If you're wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link directly below. Now, 2 weeks worth is blocked off. I'm still available. So if you need a booking, you can inquire via the website. There are the evening sessions in Perth, WA available. I am in Perth, WA, Western Australia. Now, for all of you, you should look at this video, okay? Because obviously with Cancer and Capricorn being in the notes, there is the general part of the read. There's also the energy of, depending on where the placement is, you know, in your life with Cancer. With the eclipse, will all affect us in some shape or form. Now, although they're late, it is happening around the 2nd. We also then have the energy of the Capricorn frequency coming in through around the 16th. Now, the most positive time of the month is going to be between the 16th and the 20th, where the energy will be burning off. It's going to be transforming. Libra also is doing a transition with the whole, and I call it Libra, it's Venus really. Venus is going through a transformative stage as well. Moving into the eclipse season, what you are going to find is a lot of it is coming from 2009. We do have another 1-year cycle after this. Now, moving into 2020, this Cancer Capricorn energy is going to continue on. For those of you who have Sun, Moon, Rising, or a placement in some place in your chart, this is going to directly relate to you, be it the reading or directly the eclipse season. It's going to have some relevance towards your life of what's changing. Now, a lot of interconnections. You look at the energy of Cancer, and it is about connections. It's about family. It's about tribe mentality, the emotional body, the intuitive, the feminine aspect of things. A lot of you guys might be purging quite a bit. And again, I do need to do the feminine update, but it has been pretty multitasking energy. I feel I've been going through myself. I'm Cancer rising, and I do have a lot of Cancer placement in my chart. I do feel for you guys, and I've just pulled a few cards at the moment, and what's coming through is making complete sense to me. Obviously, yes, I do have a lot of Cancerians around me, as well as the energy from a psychic point of view, tuning into the astrology. It does make complete sense. Cancers are going through a major transitional cycle. So it's almost like you feel you've had a spiritual walk-in, like you feel very foreign in your own kind of life right now. A lot of old energies can come back from the past, as well as old frequencies of belief systems being purged. A lot of trigger points have been coming up as well. Let's see what's going on. I do feel as though pieces of the puzzle, and this is for everyone dealing with the Cancer aspect, what seems set in stone will not be set in stone by the end of the month. So you're going to need to be pretty flexible, okay? Especially with the Neptune going retrograde. Mercury, you know, in retrograde. You know, the delusions connected to your path are going to be shown. Although a lot of people are looking at it as the negative point, I feel it's more the positive point, because the clarity of such is going to come through with the retrograde season. So you tend to look at it as a lot of people, especially last year with Neptune retrograde, there was a lot of toxicity that was coming through. It can be where we go back into old codependent patterning, you know, using vices to cope with the frequency. Especially with Pluto and Neptune retrograde, you can find that there's more seismic activity. So there can be earthquakes, tsunamis, you know, natural disasters. That is quite a common theme, and you'll find it 40 days before and 40 days after. So if there's erratic weather, it will be due to that. Again, how we interconnect with people from the past, this subject matter is going to be coming up again. I've pulled the cards so far, and I'm going to pull clarifies. Now, the first card you've got, and I pulled for Cancer and Capricorn energy, because these are the eclipses of what's going to be coming through. And I've also pulled the karmic energy of what's going to be coming through for you guys, the subject matters, the areas. Again, if you do look at your astrological chart, what is coming up for Cancer is the placement of, again, tribe. So this can be the people you're working with, the people you're in a relationship with, old energies coming back, and how they connect into this new story. How you're going to move through that old story pattern. Can you take them with you? Doesn't need to be looked at again. With the Capricorn energy, it is your, it's your opposite sign. So a lot of what you've been dealing with has been almost been acting like a Capricorn. And I'm finding this to be a positive thing. It's like you're moving towards that frequency. You had needed to use it in a sense to take accountability and to really move towards your higher goals of achieving certain targets. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're going back into your pain body experience, your vibrational sense, so that you can feel what is in the here and now in the 3D. Some of the things that you guys have been sweeping under the carpet are coming to the surface. You have been meditating upon them for the last 3 weeks. They are going to be addressed in the weeks coming. Now, past tense frequency is, you know, where the deception was. And again, the first card off the bat is a moon card. So this moon energy, the Cancer moon I'm feeling, I'm also feeling a lag off effect of the previous moon energy. You know, a lot of us have found that that moon energy was pretty trigger point. I'm feeling as though it is between then and now, moving into the second, moving forward. A lot of people around you who have been quite deceitful are going to come back from the past. You can be trying to deal with those individuals. You can also be trying to move away from these individuals. You have gained clarity on who they are. You know who they are, what the people, places, and things are. And they're things that are coming up to be addressed. At one point, you might have hoped that this would turn into a better scenario. And it can be 3 direct individuals. And 3s and 7s have been coming up for July pretty heavily, even within my private readings. And I'll go on to that subject in a minute. So you got pleasure seeking. I mean, they do find this energy pleasing, okay? So it can be toxic individuals who are used to this way of being, and the way they're dealing with you, it could be connected to 3 individuals. It could be a third-party situation. It could be 2's company, 3's a crowd. That's what I'm hearing. So it doesn't have to be the third-party card, and it doesn't have to be in a romantic sense either. When we see the 3 of Swords, you know, we can connect the dots to a third-party situation. In the 3D, it can also be a person, place, or thing. It can be a past tense energy. It doesn't have to be romantic related, but it can be an interference as such that's been causing conflict. And I do feel you to be piggy in the middle of this situation. They've been trying to wipe over the edges. It's like you're smack bang in the middle, and they're trying to wipe over the edges, making something out to be what it isn't. But you're in your awareness of this, and you know this is a lie. You're not trusting these individuals. Currently, where you stand, you have the Queen of Cups. So you're like, I know how this goes. I know what's coming. Again, notice the fish on the card. So there is currently 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm feeling with the 4 energy. Next year, 2020, is a vibrational 4 year. There can be 4 chapters you're closing, 4 chapters you're dealing with, 4 related people that you're dealing with, but there's external sources directly impacting this area. I feel you're in your consciousness about it. It might have been you tried various ways to deal with it, and no matter how you've directly tried, you're realizing some of the control is outside of your hands. It's really made you feel stuck, but I feel as though it's 2 ways. It's a burn-off effect of it, and by the 16th, moving through to the 20th, the one thing you will find is you know this is coming. You've been there yourself. So you can be visually experiencing dynamics coming through in other people. This in the past may have been your own energy, but you've freed yourself from that. You know, you're in your higher consciousness now. You know, at one point, yes, you may have been comfortable in that frequency of lower frequency people, and it's not that they're bad people. It's, you know, non-awoken energies. Now it feels as though it's not so much you're piggy in the middle any longer. You might have been, But you were, and you did know that this was not forever. You do know this is not forever. So you may still have connections to people, places, and things, but you're purging that cycle because you know they're not part of your new storyline. Mentally, you may feel they're stuck in a mental prison. They're holding you in the past, but you consciously know that you need to move forward, that you can't stay in this frequency because it's a given choice. You know, we entertain and we intertwine ourselves with frequencies through choice. If we know it's not in our higher good and we're taking crumbs, crumbs can't last forever. We go hungry. And again, I'm seeing 7 and 2. 7 again, especially when you're seeing sevens, and this month is 7, okay? So when we're seeing 7, 7, 7, it is about the fact that you could feel emotionally bankrupt. It could be that you feel spiritually bankrupt in investing in particular locations. Now, if in your conscious mind you are keeping positive, it is also super connected to 3s. The 3s are also in relation to finance, abundance, and the things we're investing in. I do feel, Cancer, you guys are really assessing those 2 areas. What is emotionally abundant, what is spiritually abundant, and how to proceed forward. Because these things left you feeling bankrupt. There's a lot of ego at play. So this could be a lot of conflict with these people that are trying to keep you in this dynamic. And I feel your energy to be a fly on the wall observing these scenarios. This could be in relation to a reunion. This could be in relation to all these people from the past coming back for them to be purged out and ended. Okay, so this can be people reconnecting. It also, at a very separate level, can be due to a reconnection you've had with someone. It's actually causing conflict. But you're proceeding forward. I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Thank you for those of you watching and liking the video. I do appreciate it because it does actually get the video shared. Okay. Yeah, in the past, like, you know that was going to change, like I said before. So with the energy of you knowing where this lying and deception, you know, is coming from, and these toxic individuals, toxic scenarios, toxic ways of being, you being piggy in the middle, it was directly impacting your physical vibration. It was affecting your health. Now, a lot of base chakra has been coming up. And again, I did mention this to Giggle this morning. I've started doing videos that are going to be based on the planets, the chakra, and number synchronicities. So those videos I will try and do over the next few weeks. And when I've done them, I'll upload them, and you can, then when you're getting trigger points and pain body experience, and you're wondering why a particular chakra is out of alignment, you can go to that video, you can absorb the information, and it can help you get back into alignment and understand the reasons why. A lot of the energy at the moment is connected to base chakra and the Mars frequency. And the Mars frequency, interestingly enough, is correlating with 1s, which is, again, base chakra. 5s denote change. But with the 1s and the base chakra, there is a change happening around that of a foundation. So the foundation as such that was faulty is falling away. It needs to change. If it's unable to change, you're moving away from it. You also have in your higher consciousness what is not in vibrational alignment with you. So, you know, some of it I'm feeling spiritually, you feel spent. You may be having an upgrade spiritually. You may actually be purging to a point you're detoxifying, again, people, places, and things, and people you haven't spoken to for a long time. And, you know, during this eclipse season, a lot of people from the past are going to come back, a lot of old energies, even all the way back from 2009. So with your intuitive aspect of yourself and you realizing what this mental prison is and the burn-off effect of it, you know, the cremation, the walking away from that energy, you know what is not abundant. And this can be an imbalance in your own personal life or directly relating to these people, places, and things. And again, notice the 5 again on the finances, on the money. A change happening in that where it can't change, moving away from that. You've got 5, 5. Again, 5 and 5 is 10, a complete cycle being ended. Now, the interesting thing is With the last card moving forward, and there's plenty more on the table, but just as your crowning energy, you got the Three of Wands in reverse, which is about pride, ego, blocks, delays, wanting this fresh start, wanting to move forward, to feel united with yourself, united with individuals who you feel are your tribe. This can be within a connection. 3 is the Trinity. Now, you know, when you look at it, when you're looking at the threes, you got earth, air, fire, water. The questions you need to ask yourself, you know, where is your passion? The fire. What needs to be burnt up and let go of? The air. What is up in the air? What do I need more information on? Can I trust the 5D and my intuition? Water. What is my emotional connection to this story? What is my truth in this story? And it proceeds forward. The alchemy of it is gain the information, trust source, but also understand what is and what isn't. It doesn't mean it's never going to be. It means not taking crumbs and proceeding forward, but being in your truth at all times. Now, your clarification card again is 4. Okay? This is about where home is, what home is, changes on the home front. And again, what is the sign of Cancer? It's like home, family, tribe. Big changes connected to 4 areas of your life, 4 domains in your life. And again, only focusing on your base chakra of your shelter. Now, you might be inclined to go into hermit mode. You may be inclined to move away from individuals, people, places, and things to get grounded, because there's a very unforgiving energy going through around you at the moment with toxic people. It'll get there, Cancer. You will find as we move through to August, the energy is going to loosen up. It is a temporary energy. It's just challenging to walk through at the moment. Now, connected to the moon, you've got the Justice card. So there is going to be a judgment. The Cancer moon, it can be that you're dealing with legalities, court hearings, proceedings, making a judgment on a path and a way to move forward. The karmic energy connected to that, interestingly enough, is the 10 of Cups. So again, it is about making judgments on where your tribe is, what you're going to do with the family-related dynamic, how to proceed forward. Again, even though it's the 10 of Cups, I do feel this is past tense energies, looking at past tense energies and how to move forward, be it that can come with you or it can't. It is a line drawn in the sand. And even in your astrological chart for Cancer, what is coming up is connections and relationships. With this energy. So this is extremely relevant. With the Capricorn frequency, by the 16th proceeding forward, you've got the 2 of Coins. Okay? Trying to balance 2 domains in your life, assessing things. And again, it can be a very, you'll probably find that aspect of things a little bit more challenging, where you've got to be the fly on the wall and really assess it. And you may find what you had in a judgment sense by the beginning of the month, it's going to shift and turn, especially with the Mercury energy, and it's going to look very different, and your opinion of the scenarios is going to be very different. You almost need to look at the eclipses as a Mercury retrograde, because things don't, especially with the Mercury Neptune, it's like not really seeing all the pieces. And with the placement of the planets, especially when they're at the 0 degree point, it's like the Fool card. Now, when you research numerology and you look at 0, it does denote infinite ways the situation can be. Lack of information, many ways this thing could go. Which, you know, in signing contracts, that's risky. I almost connect the dots of Mercury and the Neptune energy and the retrograde cycle like a mini Venus retrograde. That's really what it's coming down to. So it's what we think is going to be, may be very different, but we're going to be able to have the tools of what we experienced in the past and to try and use them in the here and now to actually be quite objective when it comes to it. But try and be flexible. You know, don't sign your life away to the point. Get to a point where you understand it's okay to change your mind, because there will be a lot of changing storylines, a lot of need for flexibility and movement within this frequency. But there's 2 areas that are going to come up for you around that time. You may have way too much on your plate around that time. The karmic frequency coming through can be trigger points of other people. jealousy, projection, clashes of clans, things coming through. Again, I will pull clarifiers for both the Cancer and the Capricorn eclipse season. Yeah, people from the past coming back for the Cancer energy. People that you haven't seen in a long time. People that potentially you don't want to see, you're going to see. You're going to see things you didn't want to see. There are going to be conversations connected to the past that you didn't want to talk about. But they're there to clear the energy so that you can go through to the next cycle in your life lighter in weight. This projection that's been going on has been going on for a while. And again, there are things that are going to come up that you're not going to like, but they're there to get rid of, and they're there to show you, do you want to commit to that cycle or don't you? You know, can you purge that? People, places, and things potentially haven't changed and you have, or vice versa, but they're shifting regardless. It can be a way to activate the heart chakra. Definitely, if you're having palpitations, go to the doctor. But in a heart chakra sense, it can be heartburn and things to that degree. It can be trigger points coming up from the heart during that cycle from the Cancer moon. Look into it and balance your chakras. Be prepared for it. Try not to hide from the wounds that are coming up. They're what's going to free you. They're also what is going to help you proceed forward to have a better story coming through. When it does come to the Capricorn energy, of these two situations and the balance and the juggling, and it could be two individuals directly impacting you around this time, two external people. Again, the third party energy was coming through. Direct external influence is impacting you. This can be two new people. It doesn't feel romantic, but it feels two areas of your life pushing and pulling you. The karmic energy connected to that is due to jealousy. So these people, you know, trying to mess with you, they can even be two direct dynamics that are messing with you. They're not following their instincts, okay? So, and you may not even have any interest in this to even tune into the reasons why they're doing it. It's just mucking with you regardless. Any advice? Yeah, it could be two exes. You know, you've got sexuality in reverse. You're not passionate about it though. You're not liking it. You're not enjoying it. It could be two locations from the past, two things that you directly connected in the past. They're coming out to be addressed, but it's 2, 2, 2. So it's like really telling you to own your power and balance the masculine, feminine aspect of your side. You know, getting into the emotional body of it, perhaps not detached from that, but also getting into the 3D, the intuitive aspect of it, especially with the heart of the reading. You have the psychic card, so it's really trusting in your intuition. Cancer's a super psychic. Definitely with the moon, it's going to be heightened. At the heart of your reading when it comes to love, there is movement, okay? You're wanting to get this going. You're wanting your love to go in the right direction. You know what you want out of love. There also could be some trigger points coming up that either you're aware that these external sources are causing jealousy, or that people are jealous of this connection. Now, regardless of whether you are or aren't with this person and you're tuning into them, you are aware that differing of beliefs, it could be jealousy coming up in you due to a previous pain body experience. It could be that you're feeling that people are very jealous of this connection. Yeah, it's people external, so it's your awareness of it, because it's base chakra in reverse. People of the past are quite triggered by this and it's causing conflict, but you're ready to proceed forward. Your counterparts' energy, they feel they got shitty luck. They're like, is this going to keep happening? They're wanting to move forward too. They're wanting a change with this situation. They can feel the delay, and it's interesting. They have the exact mirror to your card of base chakra. And again, it's the power being out of their hands and waiting for a karmic cycle to tie up. And at the heart of it, there is communication. So if you're not in communication, I do feel somehow there is communication in relation to feminine energies regardless. The triangle is facing down, which is feminine frequency. So almost taking that nurturing kind of Cancerian approach to have that communication. Again, it's coming down to an 11. Now, when you're seeing 11s, again, it is Mars and Aries. So it's any of the wounds that are coming up. may be coming from feminine energies. But it's also, what are you learning through this cycle? You know, what is your belief about this scenario? Cancer, you're in your mind about this. You're open to many ways this could be. Okay? Again, breaking down to an 11. Your counterpart's energy is watching you and feeling you need to get grounded, feeling that the situation needs to be really anchored in. But I feel you guys are on both the same track, but there is an observer in this situation, and the observer is the one waiting for this transformation. Both of you are not being able to communicate effectively, but it's not that it's you guys are the issue. It's due to external situations. Let me just check. Don't want it to be just top chat, live chat. Okay. Now your finances, at the moment you might be going to the 9 energy. Now when we get into the 9 energy, it's just before a completion. You're guided to meditate. Now finances doesn't just have to be your physical money. It's directly what you're investing in. Assess what you wish to invest in. This can also be ascension symptoms where you get quite fatigued, feeling unwell, run down, tired. With that energy, be okay with that. It is, again, only a temporary energy. And you do find, even if you're listening to astrologers, they are talking 2 to 3 weeks. It feels like a recuperation time. So go easy with yourself. Try not to put a time frame on certain things. Be open to the ever-changing story during this time and be like a fly on the wall. There's still going to be energies where you have to interact with individuals and deal with things, especially with Mercury retrograde. It denotes be careful with signing contracts, buying technology, etc. But if you already had something in the midst that you were directly dealing with, you already were within your cognitive awareness of it, especially with Neptune retrograde. If well and truly 2 months ago you were dealing with it, it's a no-brainer. You have to deal with it. So try not to get too triggered by the astrology. Use it as a weather guide and proceed forward, in your higher consciousness. But the Hermit card, I feel something may have transpired. And I'm going to pull clarifiers on this because I'm getting a few stories coming through. I'm feeling it's connected to Mercury and Mars. There's an M on the male's neck. And again, some communication is going to come in that may trigger you, but you're going to be able to avoid misfortune. So it's additional information that you didn't know about. It's going to take you back a bit, but you're going to need to absorb it, okay? You're going to need to wait to absorb this. So again, I am feeling an upgrade. I'm feeling a spiritual upgrade, and I'm feeling as though you're going to move forward with it, but it's additional information. It may take you in a different journey. All of it is part of your journey, but your finances are increasing, but some of you may actually change jobs or the way you are operating within this job. It just feels a change in direction, but you're looking back. And then, again, communication coming in, and that's what was coming through loud and clear. It's like, look at the man's eyes. It's like, wow, I didn't know that. It's like, whoa. Really quite disappointed, I would say. Disappointed in a situation, disappointed in the information you had, and having to rewrite that map of what's going to happen from here on in. Now, even at a financial level, you might be putting a lot out and feeling like as much as coming in is going out. Again, it is temporary, and it doesn't mean you're having no forward movement. You will find by August onwards, things will flow a lot better. Now, in your employment energy, again, there can be some great things happening. There can also be some people on the workplace that are a bit vain, coming through like they know it all. I do feel that's going to be their demise, and there can be other opportunities coming towards you. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden people are offering you positions, or that you're looking back at the table, but you're not. I feel there's so many goals that you guys are trying to achieve that you're not even looking at that. You're just proceeding forward. And it will be something that comes up out of the blue. You're quite content at the moment. And I do feel there's also going to be communication about love around this time as well when this transition is happening with work. I do feel this is going to be a very, very busy month for you guys. But whoever you're in love with, you're very committed to them, regardless of if you're very detached or looking very detached at the moment. You're very in love with them. There's just a lot of BS going on at the moment. In your tribe, poor Cancer. Lots of crap going down, okay? Working too hard, too much BS, overdoing things, ascension symptoms, purging the past. Again, you are going to come out of this, but it can be a painful transition. Again, 10 meaning a completion. You're completing things when it comes to a tribe. You can be moving away from friendship groups. You can be moving away from particular family members or groups of friends, even within your work domain. Yeah, not seeing eye to eye, you know, not wanting to soldier through with this. Like, you're not fighting it anymore. It's like it's really caused a lot of conflict. You're like wanting that fresh chapter. You're owning up. You're actually getting to a point you're like in your higher energy. Now, Father energy was coming through quite loudly this morning when I tuned into the Cancer energy collectively. And the reason why I felt it was coming through is, although the moon is a very feminine energy, looking at the polar opposite, and especially since a lot of us have been in trigger mode potentially for the last 3 weeks, almost like fear-based frequencies, trigger points, projection, karmic frequency coming through in individuals. It felt as though this was a means to heal the masculines. Now, the masculine energy is father, and I'm seeing father figures in general actually coming through, of objectively seeing toxic behaviors in people, places, and things to gain perspective on the other side of the fence of, hey, I've been there. I get that now. And it's a purging of that factor. What you're not seeing coming is the 7 of Swords. Okay? This is where things are going to start moving. It's where situations are going to shift. Worries are going to go by the wayside. It can be an egoic purge where it's like, okay, people, places, and things, I'm not connecting with this any longer. But there is a shift in that energy. It can be, again, when you're waking up at 3 a.m., where you are feeling a shift in that energy and you tune into it. You know something has to happen in order to shift this energy. Some of you are even thinking, in order for some of the things to shift, it would potentially need to be a tower. You don't want to tune into that, but you are in your conscious mind that some of those scenarios may require a major tower to transform that. So it can be other people not liking that and loving it. It can be leaving people, places, and things from the past behind. I just feel you guys are clearing the deck. You're observing it, and you've been going through this, I would say, heavily so for the 6 months, but you've been in your conscious mind about it. But now it feels just wiping the slate clean. Any questions? And it's interesting because one card fell out, crowning, and it was like, this card is the merchant. It's the worker, getting things done. It fell out in reverse. Hadn't asked a question. The first thing that came to mind was, what isn't working? What's not working? Any questions, my lovelies? While I'm here in the live chat, fire away. After the fact of this being uploaded, feel free to ask any questions. I read all of them and I will respond back to you. Cool. I'm glad it related. Because sadly, it relates to me too. Oh, shit. Because you never know what's going to come up. I mean, I cleansed the cards prior. I meditated. I am a Libran. My rising is Cancer. I do have a lot of Cancer in my chart. I've got a lot of Scorpio on my chart. And then when you see it, you're like, dang, I'm going to read about that. I used to like close my eyes and just pull the cards, and then I'd sit there and go, I have to say that. Oh, collective energy. How are you, Luciana? Yeah. It's going to be good though. Like these are, it does feel heavy in trigger mode. It can feel super emotional, but it's going to free us. So whatever's coming up for all of us individually, even those of you who do have a Cancer placement, look at your chart, look at the Mars energy as well. I'll try and get those other videos done with the chakras because I do feel they're going to help. And I'll have to thank Shelley for that. I did start doing it, especially when I was doing the astrology aspect of things. I actually tuned into with the planets what potentially could be coming up in a trigger point. Past life records are coming up quite heavily. So a lot of the past is coming back to really trigger us at the moment. We also have a lot of the energies of headaches and third eye. Often on throat chakra has been coming up. There is also a feeling where we energetically don't have power in situations and it feels like it's spinning out of control with certain things. Some of you may just directly be feeling tired. Others of you may be feeling really overwhelmed. If my mum is a karmic, and we were talking about this morning. Now, I really do need to do a video on karmics because the one thing I discovered after 18 years was a bit like Abraham Hicks and, you know, manifestation. What we need to understand is we have past life records. We have past life lessons, right? So split it for 1 minute and look at the energy as the karmic energy lives in all of us. A lot of the feminines lately have been acting like karmics with trigger points coming up. And potentially you might have been going, am I the bloody karmic? And I mean, I've been on the journey over 18 years, so trust me, I know this. The energy of what comes up is very, how do I put it? The karma is, what do you need to purge, number one. So when it comes up, it's usually a belief system you are holding in a vibrational sense inside of you. It will come up in an individual. The TFs know who they are because they're interconnected. But yes, you can get triggered and think you're the karmic. You will attract various people in your life over your learnings and your life lessons. So the people who will directly, when we tune into the karmic, it's like, hang on a minute. On the masculine side and the feminine side, they'll have the same blockages, but it's going to be experienced in a different way. In the other way, what will be happening is inside of your life, inside of their life, it will happen and a karmic will come towards you, but it's actually just a person. It's a person that is going to show you exactly what your karmic belief system is. You will get to an end cycle in your spirituality, which there's never any end, where you believe you're not entitled to crumbs anymore. And so you will attract a high vibration soulmate, a person, okay? Showing you what you deserve. You may be even triggered by that as you're integrating it into yourself. Then you'll purge that too, because the alignment comes from within, and then you'll go through a cycle of integrating the fact that you need you. And once you come home to you, you're whole. And once you integrate that, you're whole, and then you attract TF. Any other questions? Yeah, look, and a lot of trigger points have come up over the last 3 weeks. So for everyone collectively, we might have been, you know, being triggered from situations and going, but I don't relate to that anymore. And then it coming up again. And then, oh, I don't relate to that. And that's where you get into the stage where you're going, am I being tested? Why is this BS around at the moment? Have I learned? Have I purged? Have I ascended? And just wondering really why these are coming. It's to show you that, yes, you have changed. But the only thing that keeps me sane through that process is you are shifting your energy onto that individual, re-anchor your energy back in. And it's like, this does not belong to me. Focus your energy back onto self. You know, you can't hide. You can't hide from these energies. You can move states. You can move suburbs. If it's going to come up in a trigger form, people, places, and things, they change themselves. You can't. So you can create the healthy boundaries and you can say, I don't resonate with that anymore. They need to change themselves. But this is a very karmic, transformative time. It could get quite nasty. If I could get a rock, I said to my TF, I went, okay, I want gaffer tape, a sock, and bubble wrap. And he goes, why is that? And I said, well, bubble wrap so I don't hurt myself because, you know, I might be a little bit vulnerable. The gaffer tape so I don't say anything wrong or regret with Mercury retrograde, and the sock to really make sure, but put my face up smiling so I look very supportive. At least I've got a sense of humor about it. Yeah, and thank you guys, because it really does support the channel when you do actually click the like button. It circles it around. Yes, and a lot of things from the past and a trigger point can come back up, but we can never be recracked in the same location, because if we're broken in a location, it's already broken. So try as you will to tune out of it. And it sounds ironic, but while you are feeding it, you can actually manifest. And everything I fed, I manifested. So I created an art of that, manifesting everything I bloody fed. So my highest advice is, if you're fearing it, breathe it out and tune into something else. We can't control what that does do, but we don't need to feed it like fertilizer, okay? Everything I fed, I manifested, and I have to have that self-talk regularly. It's hard bloody work. It's like, Yildiz, you're not going to do this again. I will not feed that energy, okay? Thank you, Vanessa. I'm glad it helped. Feel free to share. Thank you for your kind donations. I do appreciate them, especially since I'm going through a transition myself, moved house. It's very expensive. And everything should start getting back on track. Now, I do have to go out for a little bit, so I will attempt to be back again tonight, and I'll be doing the water signs, and then I'll proceed forward. I'm doing my very best. But if you are wanting a booking, the link is below, and I'll see you on the other side. I also have to do the update for feminines because there's a lot of information coming through. Love and light.